4 Aryan lineages, Arya Vangsa. Here among A is content with any old robe, praises such contentment and does not try to obtain robes improperly and unsuitably. He does not worry if he does not get a robe, and if he does, he is not full of greedy, blind desire, but makes use of it, aware of such dangers and wisely aware of its true purpose. Nor is he conceited about being thus content with any old robe, and he does not disparage others. And one who is thus skillful, not lax, clearly aware and mindful, is known as a monk who is true to the ancient original Aryan lineage. Again, a monk is content with any alms food he may get. C, a monk is content with any old lodging. And D, a monk being fond of abandoning, rejoices in abandoning, and being fond of developing, rejoices in developing, and not therefore conceited. And one who is thus skillful, not lax, clearly aware and mindful, is known as a monk who is true to the ancient original Aryan lineage. This is the fourth one, fond of abandoning unwholesome states, fond of developing wholesome states, like the jhanas. Number 10, 4 efforts. The effort of restraint, abandoning, development and preservation. What is the effort of restraint? Here a monk seeing an object with the eye does not grasp at the whole or its details, striving to restrain what might cause evil unwholesome states, such as hankering or sorrow to flood in on him. Thus he watches over the sense of sight and guards it. Similarly with sound, smells, taste, touch and thoughts. That means he guards his 6 senses. Don't pay too much attention. What is the effort of abandoning? Here a monk does not assent to a thought of lust, hatred or cruelty that has arisen, but abandons it, dispels it, destroys it, makes it disappear. So abandoning means abandon thoughts, unwholesome thoughts. What is the effort of development? Here a monk develops the enlightenment factor of mindfulness or recollection based on solitude, detachment, extinction, leading to maturity of surrender. He develops the enlightenment factor of investigation of Dhamma, energy, delight, tranquility, concentration, equanimity. So effort of development means to develop the enlightenment factors, bojjhanga. And what is the effort of preservation? Here a monk keeps firmly in his mind a favorable object of concentration. This one should be samadhi nimitta, which has arisen, such as a skeleton or a corpse that is full of worms, blue-black, full of holes, bloated. So to keep preservation means to preserve your object of concentration all the time. 11. 4 knowledges. Knowledge of Dhamma, of what is consonant with it, knowledge of others' minds and conventional knowledge. 12. 4 more knowledges. Knowledge of suffering, origin, cessation and the path to the end of suffering. 4 factors of stream attainment. Association with true persons, that means Arya. Hearing the true Dhamma, that means the suttas. Thorough attention and practice of the Dhamma in accordance with the Dhamma. So to become Sotapanna, you have to practice these 4 things. You have to go near an Arya. You have to hear the true Dhamma. You have thorough attention when you hear the true Dhamma. And you have to practice the Dhamma in accordance with Dhamma. So you see here, hearing the true Dhamma. Without hearing the true Dhamma, you cannot become a Sotapanna. Number 14. 4 characteristics of a stream winner. Here the Aryan disciple is possessed of unwavering confidence in the Buddha thus. This blessed Lord is an Arahant, Sammasambuddha, endowed with vision, with wisdom, etc. B. He is possessed of unwavering confidence in the Dhamma thus. Proclaimed by the Lord is the Dhamma, visible here and now. Timeless, inviting inspection, leading onward to be comprehended by the wise, each one for himself. C. He is possessed of unwavering confidence in the Sangha. Well directed is the Sangha, etc. D. He is possessed of morality dear to the noble ones, unbroken, without defect, unspotted, without inconsistency, liberating, praised by the wise and conducive to concentration. Stop here for a moment. So these are 4 characteristics of a stream winner. Stream winner or Sotapanna has unshakable faith in the Buddha, unshakable faith in the Dhamma, unshakable faith in the Sangha. And he has the Aryan Sila. What is the Aryan Sila? Aryan Sila in the Noble Eightfold Path consists of right speech, right action, and right livelihood. If you analyze these 3 factors, it's basically 7 precepts. 3 concerning the body: not to kill, not to steal, not to commit sexual misconduct. 4 concerning the speech: not to lie, not to carry tales to cause disharmony, not to speak coarse or vulgar words, and not to engage in idle gossip. These are the 7 precepts of an Aryan. 4 fruits of the ascetic life, the fruits of stream entry, once returner, non-returner of arahantship. First one is Sotapanna, Sakadagamin, Anagamin, and Arahant. 4 elements: earth, water, fire, air or wind. 4 nutriments: material, food, gross or subtle, contact, volition, and consciousness. 4 stations of consciousness. Consciousness gains a footing either in relation to materiality, with materiality as object and basis, as a place for enjoyment, or similarly in regard to feelings, perceptions, volition, and there it grows, increases, and flourishes. 4 ways of going wrong, through desire, hatred, delusion, and fear. 4 arousals of craving. Craving arises because of robes, arms, lodging, being and non-being for a monk. 4 kinds of progress: painful progress with slow comprehension, painful progress with quick comprehension, pleasant progress with slow comprehension, pleasant progress with quick comprehension. Painful means, stop here for a moment. Painful means these defilements give you a lot of pain. People who have a temper, gives them painful progress. People with lust, sensual desire, also find the holy life very painful. But somebody with not strong hindrances, then these don't disturb him so much. 4 more kinds of progress: progress with impatience, progress with patience, controlled progress, and calm progress. 4 ways of Dhamma: without hankering, without enmity, with right mindfulness, with right concentration. 4 ways of undertaking Dhamma. There is the way that is painful in the present and brings painful future results. Painful in the present and brings pleasant future results. Pleasant in the present and brings painful future results. And pleasant in the present and brings pleasant future results. Stop here for a moment. Painful in the present and brings painful future results. This probably refers to those external ascetics who torture themselves. They do all kinds of ascetic practices which cause them a lot of suffering now. And because of their wrong view, in the future they take rebirth in a woeful plane. Painful in the present and brings pleasant future results. Like somebody practicing the Noble Eightfold Path and very strict with the Vinaya and all that. So he feels a bit of suffering. But because he struggles hard and attains jhana and all that, so he has a pleasant future result. Pleasant in the present and brings painful future results. These are some of the, for example, the external ascetics. They are naked and then they see each other naked and then they engage in sexual intercourse. So it's pleasant now, but in the future they will suffer. Pleasant in the present and brings pleasant future results. These are those monks whose hindrances are not strong and they easily attain the jhanas. So the holy life is pleasant for them now, and in the future they have a good rebirth again. 4 divisions of Dhamma: morality, concentration, wisdom, liberation. 4 powers: energy, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom. 4 kinds of resolve: to gain wisdom, truth, relinquishment, and tranquility. 4 ways of answering questions. A, to answer it directly. B, requiring an explanation. You have to explain first before answering. C, requiring a counter question. Somebody asks you a question, you ask him another question. To be set aside, means you don't want to answer the question. 4 kinds of karma. Black karma with black result. Bright karma with bright result. Black and bright karma with black and bright result. Karma that is neither black nor bright, with neither black nor bright result, leading to the destruction of karma. Black karma with black result is somebody do evil and then you suffer for it. That's the black result. Bright karma with bright result, you do good and you get good. C, you do good and bad, black and bright. And then you are reborn in a place where you have happiness and also suffering, like the human world. Karma that is neither black nor bright, and with neither black nor bright result, is a monk who is not interested to do good and he does not do evil. He strives in the holy life, and then he attains liberation. So there is no more result in the happy or unhappy realms of rebirth. 4 things to be realized by seeing: former lives, to be realized by recollection; passing away and re-arising, to be realized by the divine eye; the 8 deliverances, to be realized with the mental body; destruction of the asavas, to be realized by wisdom; the 4 floods: sensuality, becoming, views and ignorance. The 4 yokes is the same as before. The 4 unyokings, from sensuality, becoming, views and ignorance. The 4 ties: the body tie, kaya ganta, of hankering, ill will, attachment to rules and rituals, dogmatic fanaticism. 4 clingings: to sensuality, views, rules and rituals, and ego or self-belief. 4 kinds of birth, from an egg, womb, from moisture and spontaneous rebirth. 4 ways of descent into the womb. 1 descends into the mother's womb unknowing, stays there unknowing and leaves it unknowing. B, 1 enters the womb knowing, stays there unknowing and leaves it unknowing. C, 1 enters the womb knowing, stays there knowing and leaves it unknowing. D, 1 enters the womb knowing, stays there knowing and leaves it knowing. 38. 4 ways of getting a new personality. There is an acquisition of personality that is brought about by one's own volition, not another's. B, another's volition, not one's own. C, both. D, neither. This one I'm not sure how it comes about. 4 purifications of offerings. There is an offering purified by the giver, not by the recipient. By the recipient, not by the giver. By neither, by both. This one, purified means it becomes higher. For example, by the giver, not by the recipient. That means the person who gives is a very pure person, a very virtuous person. But the person who receives is not a virtuous person. For example, the Aryan lay person gives to a beggar who might be a criminal. So the gift is purified by the giver. B, by the recipient, not by the giver. For example, ordinary person, Putujana, does not keep the precept and all that. He gives to a holy man, Arya. Then that gift is purified by the recipient. C, by neither. That means the giver and the recipient both are not holy, both are not moral, etc. And then D, by both. That means both the giver and the recipient are virtuous, or maybe even Aryans. 4 bases of sympathy: generosity, pleasing speech, beneficial conduct, and impartiality. That means treating everybody equal. 4 un-Aryan modes of speech: lying, slander, abuse, idle gossip. 4 Aryan modes of speech: refraining from lying, slander, abuse, idle gossip. 4 more un-Aryan modes of speech: claiming to have seen, heard, sensed, known what has not been seen, heard, sensed, and known. 4 more Aryan modes of speech: stating that one has not seen, heard, sensed, known what one has not seen, heard, sensed, and known. 4 more un-Aryan modes of speech. Claiming not to have seen, heard, sensed, known what one has seen, heard, sensed, known. That means lying. 4 more Aryan modes of speech, stating that one has seen, heard, sensed, known what one has seen, heard, sensed, known. 4 persons. Here a person A torments himself, is given to self-tormenting. B torments others. C torments himself and others. D torments neither himself nor others. Thereby dwells in this life without craving, release, cool, enjoying bliss, become as Brahma. This one, the first one torments himself, is like some of the ascetics. They do all kinds of practice and they inflict self-torture on themselves. The second type torments others, maybe a king who is very powerful and is a cruel king, he torments others. And C, he torments himself and others. Some people, like during the Buddha's time, even the king, they do certain penances, torture himself, and then does a sacrifice to heaven. Then he'll kill a lot of animals, 500 or 1,000 animals. So he torments himself and makes the animals suffer. Then D is like a monk. He does not torment himself and does not torment others. 48. 4 more persons. Here a man's life benefits himself but not others. B, others but not himself. C, neither himself nor others. D, both. 4 more persons. A, living in darkness and bound for darkness. B, living in darkness and bound for light. C, living in the light and bound for darkness. D, living in the light and bound for the light. This one, I guess, living in darkness and bound for darkness. This one is somebody with bad karma. So he's born in a very poor, and he might be a paraplegic and all that. And then because he does bad karma, he's bound for a bad rebirth again, bound for darkness. Then B is person in darkness, bound for light. This one might be somebody under very poor circumstances. Maybe like during the Buddha's time, there was a beggar. He begged for his food and he didn't have money and all that. But he came to listen to the Buddha's Dhamma. After that, he was born in the heavens of the 33. Very powerful. So he understood the Dhamma. Then even though he was very poor and begged for his food, but he lived according to the Dhamma. And maybe he heard the Dhamma and understood the Dhamma and became a stream enterer. C, living in the light and bound for darkness. This is some people who are very rich and enjoying life and every day wine, women and song. But because of bad karma, they're bound for a bad rebirth. And D, living in the light and bound for light. Some people born under very good karmic circumstances, are very rich and handsome or beautiful, etc., and do a lot of good deeds, and then they're bound for a good rebirth. 54 more persons, the unshakable ascetic, the blue lotus ascetic, the white lotus ascetic, the subtly perfect ascetic. This one is mentioned in the I think Digha Nikaya we went through. These are the sets of 4 things which are perfectly proclaimed by the Lord. So we should all recite them together for the benefit, welfare and happiness of devas and humans. And we stop here for tonight. It's quite a long sutta.